All right, IPM Nation, we are back with Daniel Ouellette, and now that everyone's gotten a taste of what you sound like, what are your, do you plan to, because I know that this disc is kind of a combination or a collection of tunes over a period of several years. Are you working on anything new, or are you focusing on just promoting the current album?
A little of both. I'm very much focused on playing these songs and the other songs from the EP for a while to get them known, to get people to hear them, because even though I've heard these songs 100 times, every time I go someplace new, they're new again. They're new for the new listener. So that's fun, and it's good because I really don't get tired of singing any of the songs, which is very important.
Yeah.
But I'm always writing. I have some songs that I have been working on. So I'm always adding a song or two along the way. So I'm always writing something.
Sure. As far as the writing, I'm curious, as I listen to the disc, are all your lyrics, do you write everything out before you record, or do you ever kind of improvise the lyrics? On a couple of the tracks, it almost sounds like a stream of consciousness kind of thing, and I don't know if that's because that's what you're actually doing, or if it's intended to sound that way.
Most of the time, I do write the lyrics out before I go to the keyboard. But sometimes the lyrics just come.
Sure.
And I will write a song depending on what I hear. I'll hear someone make a comment, and then I'll think, well, that'll be a nice song.
Yeah.
I don't. Sometimes I will just turn on the instrument, and I'll turn on the recording equipment, and I will just make up a song. So
sure.
There are several different processes.
Okay.
There's one song I was thinking of when you said that. There's a song called The Terror of Ophelia, which is actually a stringing together of different statements that a friend of mine, so the artwork that I was showing in the video in the live performance, a lot of the artwork is done by my friend Ophelia. And so what I had done was run together a whole bunch of statements that she has on her artwork, on T-shirts and things of that nature. And so that's sort of how that song sounds, much like a stream.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you had mentioned, you'll have the lyrics before you go to the keyboard. So does that mean generally for you the lyrics come first and then the music?
Most of the time, but I think that every song has a different manner that I've written it. Sometimes I will write the music first, and I'll just sort of let the music sit, and I will listen to it, or something odd will happen where a sheet of paper will fly out of the desk, and it will have lyrics that I had written 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and I will put that to music. There was 2002, I made a little project where I wrote a song every day for half the year anyway.
Yeah.
So I have plucked, I think there might be one or two songs on the disc that come from that period. I know that The Moon is Full of Love is one of them.
So so you wrote a song every day for 6 months?
For 6 months, yes.
Wow. Okay. So you must have a lot of other material then that hasn't even gotten out there yet.
Oh yes. So yes, I have files on my computer of songs. Some of them I just never. Some are rubbish, of course, and some just. If I lost interest in the song, then I didn't use it any longer.
Sure. Okay.
So it didn't hold any special value to you, so you chose to move on.
Exactly, especially if it turns out to be a love song, because I just can't have that. Not directly.
I think.
Now your vocals, because you do have an approach that you don't hear very often, certainly in what you would consider conventional radio, more radio accessible music. Have you had professional vocal training, or are you self-taught, or?
Self-taught, absolutely. The most musical training I have ever had was in grade school. I played the recorder for about 4 weeks. I did have some drum lessons when I was in high school, but that was about. Oh, and I took a little bit of piano, and that was about it. So no vocal training. I was in the choir, and the choir teacher told me, "You just really need to not be here."
No kidding.
Of course.
Oh gosh. Wow. Well, the one thing I noticed, Daniel, in your performance was the fact that you seem to have this natural ability to just really hold out the notes and really enunciate the words, and I just love the fact that you were so on key, and it was really, whether it be vibrato or straight, I just thought you had a very strong natural voice, and I loved that about you. And so, again, that's one of the reasons why I presented your items to IPM Nation, because I do believe that you have a sound that's completely unique, and I'm addicted. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. I just love to sing. I mean, it's just something that I love to do. I mean, that's really where it all stems from. I don't know how. Well, I remember hearing recordings from when I was much younger, and I didn't know where to sing or how to sing. And many of the artists who I loved their songs really have voices in different ranges, especially from the one I have. I tend to, for some reason, go towards female singers, sort of the new wave and the punk female singers for some reason. And there was a while where I was really hooked on, and embarrassingly so, I loved anyone who would sing these outrageously disgusting ballads that I would never sing, but I would sing them around my house. I mean, it's very strange, but there was a period where I was constantly listening to, okay, hold something. I was constantly listening to Celine Dion, and I didn't know why.
Okay.
Isn't that bizarre?
Well, actually, no. I mean, you were subconsciously training your voice to hit different octaves, because that's one thing I definitely noticed from you was the fact that you have a wonderful range in your voice.
Oh.
And that really impressed me as far as, most, and I hate to say this, but most vocalists without training can't do certain ranges. Mm-hmm. And you seem to have that natural ability. And I think that's great. Yeah.
Well, it's pure luck. I remember once reading a review of Monsterland, in fact, and the reviewer said that all of a sudden you will get, I will hit a note that comes from I don't know where. Yeah, that was his description.
Yeah.
Can you describe your live show, Daniel? Melissa has had the pleasure of seeing you live, but I have not, and obviously most of our listeners haven't. So I'm curious what your show is like.
Sure. Most of the time it involves, well, actually almost all the time now, I have a laptop. I used to bring the synth, and I used to actually play some of the songs, and I would save some of the songs in the keyboard memory. But then I just started to use the laptop, and what I do is I connect the visuals to the music so that while I'm performing, there's also a slideshow of artwork behind me.
Oh, okay.
I feel like when I'm playing an instrument, however well or not well I play, because I feel like I play better when I'm not singing.
Sure.
And I sing better when I'm not playing, so I like to not be playing an instrument while I'm singing. But I do like to have an extra long microphone cord so I can get down off the stage and you know, touch people or poke them or sit on their lap or whatever hits the moment. I do sometimes use different props, streamers, confetti, masks, rubber Godzillas, whatever I can find, and the room becomes the whole stage, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. Yeah.
Any?
That's
basically the live show.
So Daniel, describe for our listeners what I actually saw, just so that they have an idea of what you were wearing.
What was I wearing? One only knows. What was I wearing that day? Was I wearing a suit? No, I was wearing a jacket. I'm
you
sorry.
were wearing a long black cloak.
That's right.
And
to
the
start.
face mask. Yeah.
Right. Yep. I came out in a cloak. I remember now. Cloak, cape, whatever I can find. And sometimes I will wear makeup. Sometimes I won't. It depends on how hot the room is.
Sure.
And yeah, I was wearing a mask, wasn't I? Did I have streamers that day? I think I did.
Yes.
It was early in the show. It was very quick. Yeah, and I think I was wearing a sport coat. I can't remember, a black one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a tie.
Yeah. And you had roses all over the stage.
I did, that's right. When I was singing that's actually, well, it's not a straight-on love song. It's a French song that I wrote. That's a love song to a gravedigger.
Oh, okay.
It's on the disc, Mon Fossoyeur. And sort of the idea is that here's this person lying in the ground watching the dirt come out. Well, they're dead, but spiritually or whatever, metaphysically, they're watching this person put dirt on them. So it's the last face they're going to see.
Oh. Wow. Oh, my.
Yes, yes. But I have to say, though, that it was very well done. I enjoyed it. And I noticed that some of the other vendors as well, being, from young to older, they also enjoyed it. And I thought it was wonderful that, that they were able to pick up your message from your music. I think that's what made the show so powerful, was the fact that it didn't just hit one audience.
Right. That is something that has hit me that's very interesting. I would play at a cafe here in the town that I live in, and my biggest fans were these three women who were over 80, and they got right up there and danced. And I thought that was great. And whenever I go to some place, I've just been very fortunate that there will be people who will just stop talking and watch,
right.
Whether they like it or they hate it. I've been very lucky to have that happen, and to get a very diverse audience, which is I think very important, especially where music is put and everything is put into different compartments and categories.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Have you had any radio play? I mean, obviously, commercial radio wouldn't be interested in something that's unique, but have you had any luck at college radio or other internet radio stations?
I know that the radio station at University of Massachusetts in Dartmouth has played some of my music. I have played at BSR, which is a Brown radio station.
Yep.
And I played at Brandeis University at their radio station. If there are any college stations actually playing my songs on a regular basis, I'm actually not very sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I've also had some internet play on various programs, Para X and a lot of paranormal radio stations have like me for some reason. Must be the songs about the ghosts.
Sure.
And there was another radio station that, sadly enough, I can't remember the name, was playing some of my music.
Sure. So it's getting out there. People are hearing it, and that's great. And it's great that you're able to find other avenues. Like I said, obviously commercial radio, this wouldn't be for them, but it's good that you're able to get, find those avenues at college radio and some internet stations and and build an audience that way. So, do you have any events or shows coming up that you want to plug?
Sure. Well, first of all, I have some performances that are coming up, but I don't have their dates yet. But I have been Tuesday night. I played at Hot Topic at the Silver City Galleria Mall in Taunton, Massachusetts, and I should be doing some more in-store performances. The mall security came.
Did they? Why?
I think I was too loud.
Really?
Yes. But coming up next, I'll be in New York City on May 23rd at the Alphabet Lounge.
Great.
And then I will be in June. I try to at least have one performance a month, and then if I can get more, that's great.
Yeah.
June 8th, I will be at the Everyman Bistro in Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
July, I will be part of the Provincetown Rocks Music Festival down on Cape Cod, and my exact date I have not been given yet, but it will be between July 22nd and July 26th.
Okay.
And I'm always putting the dates on my websites. I have a few of them, Facebook and a MySpace website. Why don't you run those down so our listeners can? Plus, I don't even have them actually. I want to check those out too. Okay. Well, I have my own personal website, which is danielouellette.net. It rhymes. All right. So www.danielouellette.net. Okay, we definitely want to spell that because your last name some people aren't going to know. I wasn't even sure how to say it, let alone spell it. So. All right. So Daniel is spelled Daniel, and then my last name Ouellette .net. Okay. And then my MySpace is www.myspace.com/DanielRuinsEverything. And now with Facebook, I don't know that there is an actual URL. But if you go to Facebook and you type in my name in the search, the music page will come up. Okay. Okay. And also you can see recordings of live performances and concept videos because I made almost every song on that disc has a music video. Cool. Wow. Really? That you have, yes. All made bare bones and cheaply, but with some, some vision, if you will. So those are on Facebook, some are on MySpace, and also YouTube, which would be, I don't know why it's not my name, but for some reason it's youtube.com/ and I'll spell this, PETIPPRINCE7, because I have the Little Prince, so.
Okay. Very cool, very cool. Well, why don't we, we'll start to wrap up, but I definitely want to play another track to play us out, if you want to pick something. Or Melissa, did you have anything else you wanted to ask Daniel before we wrap up?
I just want to say that I'm really glad that you are joining us on the show, and I look forward to seeing another performance for you. You can definitely count me in. And I think it's wonderful. I think you're a great entertainer and a vocalist.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, Matt and Melissa, for having me. It's fun and it's great, and I appreciate it so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. A big part of what makes this exciting for us is finding new artists that maybe people don't know about, and it's especially cool to find someone unique and who's doing something really interesting, because there's a lot of sameness out there. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Exactly.
So it's great to I'm glad that Melissa ran across you at that event, and it's great to have you on the station.
Again, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're very welcome.
How about
Daniel? You get to pick which song you'd like our listeners to hear next, and then we'll wrap up the show.
All right. Well, since I said I don't write love songs, how about this next song I always introduce as being a love song. So how about How I Love?
All right.
The title of the song.
All right. Very good. So, everybody, this is How I Love from Daniel Ouellette. All right. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you so much, both of you.